I bought a 3D scanner. Okay, so let's look at some models. This is the very first thing I scanned with the einstar Vega. It's a pretty big, like hand-sized shell that we got from Mexico, and I think it did a great job. I don't remember if I even calibrated before doing this, because I had just gotten, I was excited, I wanted to just to see the results. I can't say much about accuracy in terms of measurements and stuff. I could 3D print it just to have it side by side. I might actually do it, but detail wise, it captured as much detail as I would hope for. I did do it in color, and again, like, no complaints. He did a great job. It was fairly easy. I did do 2 scans for this one, and at first I was a bit disappointed because I didn't know what I was looking at. So it does have a little artifact here. The shell is broken on this side, and I think this wooden piece is a little bit of the table that I forgot to remove, but I did do this scan in 2 parts. But when you scan, what you actually get is the point cloud, and looking at the point cloud doesn't look like it has a lot of detail, right? Like, if you zoom out, you can kind of see, but when you look at the point cloud close by, you think, oh, yeah, it's, I don't know, very soft, right? But it's just misleading. This is one half that I scanned, and this is the other half, and so I just pretty much flipped the shell and scanned again. And I did it on the table without a turntable or anything, without I was rotating around the object, not rotating the object, and it's fairly easy for you to align. I'm gonna show you how I do that when we look at another model, but as a first experience, this was what I was able to capture. I gotta say, this is my first 3D scanner, my first experience with. It's not my first experience. I've done a little bit of photogrammetry before, and using like sensors on phones and things like that. But with real 3D scanners, this is my first experience, and it was a lot better than I expected. It was fairly easy, but it took longer because I'm used to filming and cameras and things being more instant and being able to move faster. This took a while. Took a few minutes. It's like, didn't take that long, but again, a picture of, like, for me to take a picture from every angle of this shell would be a lot faster than scanning this shell. So it's a learning curve, right? Like anything. And this is the real life shell. So after scanning a small/medium object, I wanted to try to scan a person. Scanning a full person is a little bit challenging, especially if they move a lot. I tried with my kids first, and I couldn't get good results. This is my cousin Manuel, and he was pretty good at staying still. The scanner is on the lower resolution option. It has 2 sets of cameras, pretty much 2 scanners in one, and this one is they say the fast mode, so the lower resolution, and it did a pretty decent job. I think this was second try. They did add one feature on the latest software firmware updates, that if you make a mistake, you can rewind and start again from that point, or just save before you made the mistake. That would have saved me a few scans on the early days if the feature was out of the box. I'm pretty happy that that feature is there now, and I've been using it a lot. And this is how the point cloud looks for him. The bulge on the head is because he's taller than me, so I couldn't get I didn't notice that I didn't get the top of the head, and some other areas. And just going back to here, I did scan in color, so let's just take a look on that. I think the color is nice and all. Like I don't have use for the color information, but it's nice to have, you know, especially if you scan somebody, you wanna send the model to them. Having the color is nice. I would have to clean up the head a little bit there, but that's about it, and a little bit here on the fingers. Got a little mushed there because I didn't scan under for obvious reasons. And let's get closer here. When I'm processing the point cloud, I always like, if you're gonna convert this to mesh, the default settings are a little bit lower resolution than the highest. So the highest would be 0.5 for the point cloud that I acquired, and the mesh smooth is way up there. I usually just turn this all the way down to 0 and enable texture mapping, because why not? In this case, I did use the watertight, and that's why I got it tried to close the areas that doesn't know what to do with it, that has no information, and that's why we have this weird mess on the hair there. Okay, so I've been meaning to 3D scan this car for a few weeks now, but I live in Canada and has been snowing non-stop for a couple weeks. And today got a little bit warmer, not too bad, so let's give it a shot. For my use, I could actually just scan half of the car, to be honest, right? Because it's pretty symmetrical from the outside. So scanning the car started well. Scanning a single area, it's pretty easy, but scanning the entire car turns out to be a challenge, because anytime you go through a door or this panel that it's pretty flat with no detail, the scanner loses tracking, and it gets really frustrating, because then you gotta hope it's gonna find the alignment again, and sometimes it doesn't. So I went back home and I got this magnetic tape that I had that wasn't strong enough for the intended use, so I just added detail by putting magnets all over the car. Thankfully I had a lot, and I did a pass with just that and was better but not enough, so I came back and added reflective trackers to all the little magnetic tapes, and then it scanned no problem. So after a lot of trial and error, I ended up deciding to go with parts. Instead of trying to do a whole chunk of the car, I was doing smaller bits, and this was only for the hood, because the hood is such a flat area and I would lose tracking all the time before I added the trackers there. So I decided to do the hood by itself, and I did a little bit more so I could merge with this side of the car. So the entire side of the car is one scan, the hood's one, the bumper is one, the ceiling's one. So let's see. This was like fail attempts earlier. The pink stuff is I tried to add crumpled paper, like post-it notes as well, to see if it would have help giving more detail, something to track. It didn't work as I expected. So another one that, like, this wasn't as big of a fail, was working. I actually ended up using this for the back of the car, because I ended up running out of daylight and it was getting cold and I needed to come back inside to help with the kids. So I just call it the day, you know. Like, this was one of the first attempts at the parking lot. So you can see here it kind of messed up a little bit, but was doing its thing. Just the ceiling by itself, and after combining all the parts, this is what we got. Let's go. Okay, so this is the mesh that I extracted from here. After all the struggle with losing tracking, because I was losing track on those small areas, there's a little bit of a merging line here. But after all that struggle, seeing this, I was really happy with the results. I only did half of the car, and then I mirrored in Blender. And I don't know, like, some parts could be aligned a little bit better, but overall, for my use, it's really close to what I wanted. So I did some cleanup in Blender, and let's take a look. Okay, so here's the car in Blender. Let's turn it to render view here so we can see it a little bit better. So it does look pretty nice. I could have added the stickers directly to the car. That would save me some cleanup in the future, but I didn't want to waste all those stickers, because I only have the ones that came with the scanner, and I'm not planning on buying more anytime soon. So I ended up deciding to do this magnetic thing so I can reuse for other metallic objects that I do in the future. And I did the symmetry in Blender, like I mentioned. So you got, and I also only scanned this wheel, so I just duplicated to the other. I'm not interested in the wheels. I'm only gonna use the main body of the car for my little project, but it's good to have there. It gives a nice sensation, a nice look. This is my favorite part of the skin. Like, I really like how it picked up the detail there, and it's black, and the skin is not really good with black, but I think my car is dirty enough that added enough gray there. Yeah. But yeah, like, if you look at the text, it came out very clear. I did decimate the model a little bit, just for... It didn't lose detail though, it's about the same. I just reduced in half the poly count, so it would be a little bit better for me doing the symmetry and everything. Was a bit heavy, and after I decimated in half, kind of was more manageable. Yeah, so the car was a struggle, but I learned a lot by doing, and I think if I am to scan another car, I will first buy the proper spray so I can spray the headlights and actually capture there, and then just wash away after, and just buy more of the stickers so I'm not afraid of using them. If I was to do like professionally, like just scan a car for a client or for whatever reason that's not just me playing with the scanner, or for personal projects. Like if it's something more legit, I would buy the proper stickers. Yeah, so but like result wise, amazing. Process a little bit frustrating, but if I was to do it again, I think it would be a lot easier just as a learning curve. So this is the complete opposite. I got the smallest RC car I could find, and my intention is to 3D scan both and 3D print my actual car as a shell for this RC car. The blacks were not scanning at all, so I sprayed a little bit of baby powder with alcohol in order to to actually get it to scan, but it was a lot smoother to scan. I used the HD settings and just put on a little turntable that I made with a lot of markers. So the result of this one really impressed me because it's such a small RC car and got pretty much all the detail. The detail on the car is on the soft side, so I don't think this softened much of the detail. It's pretty much, I think I got everything. There is a little bit of a texture there because I don't use any of the smoothing, but that's totally fine. If I was to 3D print this, I would clean anyways, but my intention is actually to 3D print my car as a shell for this one. So the inside here is more important to me because I need to find the screw holes and the exact position for it to fit. And I also did scan the ship set and so I can avoid colliding with the wires and the cables and the stuff there. And the bottom part, I'm gonna merge those two in Blender instead of merging here because I didn't do a good job capturing the sides here. But I can use the wheels to line things up in Blender. Oh, and I'm not gonna use the color, but if you're curious of how the color looked with my baby powder spray, it made everything opaque enough and added enough texture to the black areas that the scan was able to capture. So overall, my experiment was a success with the baby powder and alcohol, but I would test on a small area because this plastic got a little bit dissolved. So I do have this other RC car that we have two of those. My son painted one so we could differentiate them, which made scanning a lot easier, to be honest, because it's black and shiny. Here's one of those features that I was mentioning before where I was able to a little mistake happened. I was able to pause the scan, rewind up to before the mistake happens, and then just press play and keep scanning over the same scanner. And that saves my life so many times when I was doing the car too. So when I tried to scan the insides for this one, I didn't have much luck because it's all black and shiny parts. So I decided to take a little bit of plastic for backing and just protecting the electronics there a little bit. And I got a chalk spray from the dollar store. I should probably buy the 3D scanning spray, but it's pretty expensive and I didn't want to wait. So chalk spray it is. And it worked. It's a little bit sticky, but it's easy to clean up. So for this one, let's start with the inside here. It turned out like perfect. The only parts that didn't get is the parts that I couldn't get. I did do this one in two parts. So the bottom was scanned separate, and I didn't. I removed the wheels from the one from when I did the bottom. But yeah, there is some inside parts there that didn't get. But for me, to be honest, all I needed was the contact points here and the overall size with the wheels for me to model the new shell around this, and I can't wait to get started with that. It's gonna be awesome to play with. Let's take a look at the other scan. So this one, I didn't pay any attention to the wheels because I knew I was going to scan the inside after, and I was only looking for the shell on this one, and I got what I was looking for. Again, this is vacuum formed plastic, so the details are very, very soft, and you can tell the difference, right, between the wheel, the tire here and here, how sharp the details are. And I forgot to show this without the colors, so you can see a little bit better what's going on. And I don't know, I love this one. So overall, I'm pretty happy with my choice. I think looking at reviews now of other models, I think there is a slight quality increase with some of the competition, but without the convenience of not having to use a laptop, not having to deal with cables as you're scanning things. For the RC cars and things that I did on my office, the Creality Auto would be perfect for that, you know, like connected to the computer, you can do anything there. But I couldn't imagine being able to scan the whole car in one go, with the time restraints and the codes and everything, managing extension cords and the laptop. And my laptop is 6 years old. I don't even know if it can handle everything that it needs. So it adds a lot of failure points not being on a standalone unit. So I think that's where the einstar Vega shines. But again, it comes with a cost, and